Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International coin channel. And today we're going to take a look at the Jefferson Nickel from the United States of America from 1947. We are going to look at the 1947 S or San Francisco Mint coin. The San Francisco Mint in 1947, they made about 25 million of these. They made about 38 million at the Denver Mint, and they made 95 million at the Philadelphia Mint. Of course, Philadelphia, no mint mark in 1947. And just in case you want to see what the Philadelphia and the Denver ones look like on the back, here's the 1947. I'll flip this one over and you'll see that it has a D right there, and that's for the Denver Mint. You'll see that it has no mint mark on it, and that means it's from the Philadelphia Mint. So, unless it was during World War II, the mint mark is going to be over here to the side until 1965. But there were some earlier war years where there is a P over the top of Monticello in the back. We'll see where the mint mark is on this one in a second. It says, "In God We Trust" in front of Jefferson, Jefferson facing to the left. It says Liberty behind Jefferson, and there is a star here between Liberty and the year 1947. When you look at this, you see that this is not a very good quality coin. You'd think a 75-year-old coin would have some value. This is probably worth less than a quarter. You can get 1947 coins in very good shape. In fact, you can get in almost uncirculated, and it's still only going to be worth $1 to $2. We tip it up on its edge, and we see that it has a smooth edge. Of course, this is a copper nickel coin. And one thing that's interesting about the United States nickel is it's almost all copper. It is a nickel in the sense that it has nickel in it, but it doesn't have that much more nickel in it than a $0.25 has in it, which is a copper-nickel clad copper. This is not a copper-nickel cladding, but it's a copper-nickel mix. It says E pluribus unum at the top, Monticello here, 5 cents right down here. Notice the cents is plural, the S on the end, and then way down at the bottom it says United States of America. One of the things you always look at on nickels is whether you can see any steps. I'll tell you what, you can get plenty of 1947 S's in the full steps version. They are out there. And here's one of those really, really good S-Mint coins from the PCGS website. And you can see up there at the top, you see the PCGS, and then down here in between you can see that it says PCGS Mint State 67 FS. That means full steps, and if we want to see what those full steps look like, all we have to do is go over here and click on this, and you can see that you get these incredible steps on the full steps version. There are over 400 that have been graded by PCGS at a full steps 65 or better. So that's why I say there's a lot of them out there. Here's one without the toning on it. Same thing to 1947. And here's one with some beautiful coloring on it. Again, a full steps version. And the ones that PCGS has graded sell for between $85 from Mint State 65 and $3,500 and up from Mint State 67, like the ones we see here. Because they made so many of them, and because they really did a good job in 1947, you can find plenty of coins that are much better shaped than this. Now, one of the things you always want to look at in the 1947s is the mint mark. And this is an S, and we see what we look for is to see if they repunched it, because you can frequently find, not frequently, but enough so that you need to look for it, a double punch on these coins. Now, as I said, there should be an S, there should be a D, and the Philadelphia Mint will have nothing over there, and that's where the mint mark is. Now, of course, you know that they moved those mint marks to the front in 1969, I believe. The new modern coins is right there on the front. And you can see Jefferson's actually facing in a different direction. And they change it up quite a bit. They have In God We Trust in front of them still. Liberty down here rather than Liberty behind. and the year, and then you see the mint mark right there. And of course, now on these coins, they put a P on for Philadelphia, which they didn't at the time. This coin was first made in 1938, and in 1938 they did make the coin at the San Francisco Mint, the Denver Mint, and the Philadelphia Mint. And then it stayed pretty much the same until 1966, except for the war years when they had some silver. From 1942 to 1945, the coins had about 40% silver. So here's that 1945 S-Mint coin. So you can see just how worn down this is. And that's what will happen with this, because of course the 1945 is the silver. If we flip it over, we see where that mint mark is way up there. And this is all kind of worn down. This is a 40% silver worth about $2 just in silver value. And that's one huge S you can see there. So that's where they put it on in 1942. Mid-1942, they came out with these. Some of the 1942s are not silver, so make sure you check on that. But if you see one up here that has an S up above rather than an S on the side, you know it's one of the silver United States nickel coins from World War II. And so they are the ones that people really pay a lot of money for. Even in pretty low conditions, they're worth a couple bucks each. And then you get some double dies, you might be talking about $200 or $300 for the 42 to 45s, but not this one. This is after World War II ended. So it stayed the same until 1966. Now, I'm not even sure you can tell the difference between these two, but this is where the coin was changed in 1966. So if we look, it still says "In God We Trust" in the front. Still says Liberty here with a star here. So see the Liberty, the star, then the date there. And we're not talking just about a little difference in typeset. We're talking about a striking difference, and this is where you'd look at it. Right down here underneath Jefferson, you see there's nothing there. In 1966, this is what they added. The FS for Felix Schlag, who was the engraver of these coins. 1966, kind of a funny year. In 1964, they ended with these silver coins, except for the $50, the Kennedy halves. They stopped making silver dollars, halves, and dimes, but they didn't change the nickel in 1964 at all. 1965, they came out with all no mint mark coins. So this 1966 also had no mint marks, but they decided to change it up a little bit and put the engraver's initials Felix Schlag. So this coin won't have 1965, 1966, and 1967 won't have any mint marks anywhere. It won't be above the dome. It won't be next to Monticello. It won't be down here. No mint marks, 65, 66, and 67. However, they did introduce the initials in 66. All right, so should you collect the 1947 S? Well, you should, because it's kind of a cool coin. Is it real expensive? No. So what I suggest you do is collect a coin something like this, and then if you see a better one for like $1 or so, which you're going to see if you keep looking, probably not going to find this one in your change very much anymore. Just after 75 years, people look for these, especially the S's, and they pull them out. All right, so no real value, but really, really good historical and interest value. That's all we have today from DC Coinwell International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave comments in the comment section.